50 years ago, humanity faced one of the most terrifying events in its history when a highly intelligent alien species, known as the Formics, launched a sudden and devastating attack on Earth. These aliens bore a striking resemblance to ants, yet they were far larger, far more organized, and possessed a hive-like intelligence that humans could barely comprehend. Their arrival was swift and catastrophic, millions of people were killed almost immediately, and humanity's defenses struggled to respond to the scale and efficiency of the invasion. The Formics employed an army of drones, each remotely directed by a central intelligence, which allowed them to overwhelm human forces in numbers and coordination. Entire military units were annihilated in a matter of hours, leaving nations in chaos and forcing the survivors to rethink what it meant to defend Earth. Amid this chaos, a single human hero emerged, Commander Wiggin, a courageous and strategic military leader. In a selfless act of bravery, Wiggin piloted his fighter jet directly into the Formic mothership, risking, and seemingly sacrificing, his life to destroy it. The destruction of the mothership caused a chain reaction, the Formic drone ceased functioning instantly, and the remaining aliens, dependent on their queen for direction and coordination, perished as well. Wiggin's actions effectively ended the war, granting humanity a fragile and hard-earned victory. Yet, even after this triumph, humans knew that the Formics were not gone forever. The threat lingered in the collective consciousness, the aliens could return at any time, and humanity had to prepare for the eventuality of another, potentially more catastrophic, invasion.
Preview.
The fear of the Formics' return prompted the world's nations to unite under a single military authority dedicated solely to the defense of Earth. This organization, known as the International Fleet, was tasked with monitoring deep space, preparing advanced weapons, and training the next generation of commanders who could lead humanity in a future war. The fleet's planners, analyzing patterns in human and alien behavior, concluded that the best chance for victory rested not with adults, whose thinking was bound by convention and ego, but with children. Children, they reasoned, were capable of rapid decision-making, creative problem-solving, and complex tactical reasoning that could outmaneuver the aliens' hive-based strategies. To identify and cultivate these prodigious minds, the International Fleet established the prestigious Battle School, a military academy located in orbit around Earth. Here, the brightest and most intelligent children from around the world would be recruited, implanted with tracking devices, and put through rigorous mental and physical training designed to simulate the pressures of interstellar warfare. The goal of the school was not simply to educate these children but to test them under extreme conditions, ultimately selecting one extraordinary individual who would become the commander of Earth's entire space fleet in the next conflict against the Formics. Among the children chosen for battle school was Ender Wiggin, a boy whose intellect, strategic mind, and natural ability to anticipate the moves of others immediately set him apart from his peers. Ender's reputation quickly spread throughout the school. In simulated space battles, no other student could consistently defeat him. He demonstrated a unique blend of tactical genius, creativity, and the ability to remain calm under pressure, qualities the International Fleet prized above all else. Ender's rise to prominence, however, was not without conflict. His brilliance made him a target for bullying, jealousy, and intimidation by other students, many of whom saw him as a threat to their own positions within the school's hierarchy. One notable early incident involved a senior student named Stilson. During a simulation exercise, Stilson aggressively pursued Ender's ship, attempting to dominate him in a competitive game. Ender, however, used his intellect to manipulate the environment to his advantage, forcing Stilson's ship between two asteroids and destroying it. Stilson, enraged and unwilling to accept defeat, confronted Ender outside the game, escalating the conflict into a physical altercation. Ender, acting in self-defense, struck Stilson with a wooden model and ultimately delivered a blow strong enough to incapacitate him. The incident was closely monitored by Colonel Hiram Graff and Major Gwen Anderson, who were observing Ender's progress. Though the altercation was violent, the colonel recognized Ender's strategic thinking and leadership potential, understanding that the boy had demonstrated a key trait necessary for a military commander, the ability to decisively neutralize threats while thinking several steps ahead. Following the incident, Ender was initially dismissed from battle school, leaving him devastated. Returning home, he confided in his older sister, Valentine, who reassured him that he had acted appropriately in defending himself and that Stilson would no longer be a problem. Valentine, a voice of compassion and understanding in Ender's life, provided the emotional support that allowed him to regain a sense of calm and clarity. Unlike his sister, Ender's older brother, Peter, harbored deep resentment toward him, frequently belittling Ender and suggesting he was unfit to be a commander. Peter's cruel comparisons were a constant reminder of the high stakes and the expectations placed on Ender. Despite this familial tension, Ender's innate intelligence and determination remained intact, and his desire to protect humanity and his loved ones strengthened his resolve. The looming threat of the Formic's return intensified the international fleet's urgency. Deep space surveillance confirmed that the aliens were indeed preparing for another invasion, and their army had grown tenfold since the last encounter. Recognizing that humanity's survival depended on identifying the most capable commander, Colonel Graff and Major Anderson personally visited Ender's home to explain the significance of his actions at battle school. They made it clear that his victories in simulations and his ability to handle conflict with precision and creativity had demonstrated the rare qualities necessary for leadership. They offered him an opportunity to continue his training at battle school, and despite his initial hesitation, Ender accepted. He bade farewell to his family, including Valentine, whose encouragement gave him the courage to embark on this new phase of his journey. Under the guidance of Graff and Anderson, Ender was transported to a spacecraft carrying other students destined for battle school, which orbited Earth and served as the central hub for training young prodigies. Upon arrival, Ender and the other recruits were introduced to the rigorous and unforgiving environment of battle school. The Academy was a sprawling, high-tech facility orbiting the planet, designed to simulate the extreme conditions of space combat. Each student was assigned a living quarters equipped with a locker containing a personalized spacesuit and a weapon for training exercises. Ender was quickly introduced to Sergeant James Dapp, a stern instructor who would oversee the students' development and enforce discipline. Within minutes, the recruits were taken to the battle room, a circular chamber filled with triangular shields, where they would begin their first zero-gravity combat training. In this room, the laws of gravity were suspended, forcing students to adapt their movements and tactics to the unique challenges of space. Ender initially struggled with controlling his body in zero gravity, repeatedly colliding with obstacles, but his natural aptitude and quick learning allowed him to stabilize himself more effectively than most students. The core of Battle School's curriculum revolved around team-based combat simulations designed to test strategy, coordination, and adaptability. Teams competed to score points by targeting opponents' limbs or waist areas, while simultaneously defending their own gate from intrusion. The games were designed to encourage both individual initiative and collaborative teamwork. Early on, Ender demonstrated his ability to think unconventionally, often achieving victory through unexpected and innovative tactics. He formed alliances with students such as Bean and Petra, the latter being the only female player on his team. Petra taught Ender the subtleties of remaining stable in zero gravity and effective use of the training weapons. Together, they developed strategies that leveraged both their strengths and the weaknesses of their opponents, allowing Ender's teams to achieve increasingly impressive victories. Ender's strategic brilliance was further tested through a special tablet game designed by Major Anderson, intended to gauge his problem-solving skills and psychological resilience. In this game, Ender controlled a small avatar, a mouse, navigating through puzzles and avoiding deadly traps. Initially, Ender struggled with the challenge, as the game required thinking beyond conventional rules. However, by analyzing the scenario creatively, he ultimately found an unorthodox solution, defeating the monster and completing the level. This performance amazed the instructors, as it revealed Ender's ability to transcend standard thinking and employ innovative, often aggressive, strategies when necessary. His success led to his promotion to leadership positions within the Academy, including command of his own team, the Dragon Army. As commander, Ender was responsible for guiding a team of highly skilled students, including familiar faces such as Bean, Petra, and Ally, in complex simulation exercises. Ender's leadership of Dragon Army showcased his tactical ingenuity and ability to inspire loyalty. He devised strategies that allowed his team to achieve overwhelming victories against teams composed of experienced veterans. In one pivotal match, Ender used deception and precise coordination to manipulate the opposing team into underestimating his movements, ultimately delivering a decisive blow that secured victory. His leadership was characterized not by authoritarian control, but by adaptive problem-solving, collaboration, and careful attention to the strengths of each team member. Even when facing extreme adversity, such as sudden injuries or unexpected ambushes, Ender remained calm and inventive, ensuring his team could execute plans effectively. The instructors, including Colonel Graff and Major Anderson, continued to monitor his performance closely, convinced that Ender possessed the rare combination of intelligence, courage, and moral insight required to command the fleet in real conflict. As Ender progressed in his training, the stakes escalated dramatically. He was transferred from the initial battle school to the International Fleet Advanced Command Base, located near the Formic's home planet. Here, the training shifted from simulations to full-scale virtual war games designed to emulate actual combat conditions. The base itself was constructed on a planet covered in jagged, sharp structures, remnants of previous formic fortifications. Graf explained that this location had been used as a staging ground for decades, allowing humanity to observe formic activity and prepare for the coming war. Ender's training at this stage was intense, leaving little time for rest and demanding extraordinary focus and strategic thought. It was here that he first met the legendary Commander Mayor Rackham, whose supposed death during the first formic invasion had become a symbol of heroism for humanity. Rackham revealed that he had survived by ejecting from his fighter at the last moment, and explained the central principle of formic warfare: the destruction of the Queen alien would neutralize the entire enemy population, as the drones acted only under her direction. Ender's final training involved leading his team through highly realistic simulations, commanding fleets and using advanced weaponry, including the molecular destruction device, capable of delivering explosive power equivalent to thousands of atomic bombs. Each simulation became progressively more challenging, replicating the immense scale of interstellar warfare and forcing Ender to consider complex tactics, resource management, and the psychological welfare of his team. At each stage, Ender demonstrated remarkable foresight, creativity, and ethical discernment, balancing the ruthless efficiency required for victory with an understanding of the human costs of combat. Despite setbacks, including near-catastrophic losses and extreme pressure from instructors, Ender's leadership, ingenuity, and adaptability enabled him to succeed where others would have failed. Ultimately, Ender faced the final simulation, designed to represent the formic home world. The stakes were higher than ever. Thousands of alien drones, multiple motherships, and critical strategic objectives required perfect execution. Ender coordinated his team with unparalleled skill, using drones to shield the MD device and employing creative maneuvers to bypass defenses. Petrus skillfully guided the MD into position while Ender directed the attack, destroying the alien queens in a single, decisive strike. The success of this mission revealed a devastating truth: the simulations were real. Ender's actions had led to the complete annihilation of the formic civilization. Confronted with the reality of his achievement, Ender experienced profound remorse, realizing that he had committed genocide without fully understanding the intentions of the formics, who had not planned an immediate attack on Earth. The psychological impact was immense, and Ender grappled with the moral implications of his actions, understanding that victory in war often comes at a staggering ethical cost. Despite his horror, Ender resolved to take responsibility for the consequences of humanity's actions. He discovered a surviving formic queen egg and vowed to protect it, seeking a new planet where the species could survive and rebuild. This decision reflected Ender's moral clarity and compassion, highlighting the qualities that had always set him apart: empathy, intelligence, and a commitment to ethical responsibility. The story concludes with Ender assuming the title of Admiral and embarking on a journey to ensure the survival of the formic species, illustrating the central themes of leadership, morality, and the complex interplay between war, strategy, and conscience. His journey demonstrates that true heroism is not measured solely by victory, but by the courage to confront and rectify one's mistakes, even in the aftermath of unimaginable conflict. Through its intricate narrative, Ender's Game explores profound themes: the consequences of preemptive warfare, the ethical dilemmas of training children for combat, the psychological toll of leadership, and the capacity for empathy to coexist with strategic brilliance. The film illustrates the heavy burden placed on young minds, showing how intellect and moral responsibility must coexist to achieve sustainable victory. It portrays a future where survival often demands difficult choices, but where humanity's ultimate hope lies in the ability to combine tactical mastery with ethical consideration. Ender's story is both a cautionary tale and an inspiring journey, offering a nuanced exploration of intelligence, morality, and the true meaning of heroism.